Guys, my name's Daniela Rose. This is my first ever YouTube tutorial and I'm super excited to be sharing these hot tips with you. Today I'll be starting off with my signature look, which is the winged eyeliner with the nude eye and a nude lip and the beachy style waves as well. So I'll be breaking it up into two parts. I'll be doing the makeup up first in part one and then the hairstyling in part two. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy this and subscribe down below. So before we get started, I like to get my hair up out of the way. And the way I do that, so to ensure that I get no kinks, is I pull everything up into a pony initially and then just start twisting. I'm gonna get it all up into a pony. Just start twisting like that. And then tie it up. And I find that I don't get the kink from the hair tie when I do it this way. So just like that. And then hair tie goes in. You don't have to do it very tight. It's up out of the way. So I've got moisturizer on the face, and next up will be my primer, which is Jane Iredale Smooth Affair. It's a facial primer and a brightener. I like to go for a pea size like that. And I generally apply to the T-zone area, which is this area here. We find that you're mostly oily around that side, so you apply the most in those areas. So that's spread up all over the face. Next up I have, I've got dark circles under the eyes at the moment, so I use the Enlighten 1 Concealer by Jane Iredale as well. I find if I have really dark circles under the eyes, I'll put my foundation on and then put some more concealer under the eyes on top of the foundation. So next up I've got my foundation, which is once again, surprise, surprise, from Jane Iredale. And this is called Glow Time. I'm number 7. The coverage of this BB cream is insane. So you have to be very careful how much you actually apply. So I just go for a pea size generally. It's that big. That's probably more than enough. So that big. And if I just want something light, I'll go 50% BB and 50% moisturizer. Mix them into each other and then just put it all over the face, and it'll give you this really nice kind of glow without the heaviness. Making sure that we get that neck. Nothing worse than a foundation line. I think it's the biggest makeup crime out there. I like to ensure that I have foundation on my eyelids as well because it's a good base. And once I've put powder over, I find that my eyeshadow stays put a bit better. So I've got my base, and next up I have my PurePressed powder, also by Jane Iredale. I use the Golden Glow colour. So I just apply a little bit to the brush like that, tap off back into there, you don't need much. Next up, I put a base on my eye. This one here I got from my chemist, the W7. It's called the Natural Nude Eyes Colour Palette. And I use the Latte colour, which I'll show you now. My lid falls off. So the Latte colour is just there. And I'll use that, once again using my fingers, and apply it to the entire lid as a base. I find using my fingers I have more control over the application. I don't have as much drop off either under the eye, and I've just been doing it for years and just find it really works for me. Okay, this is by far one of the best eyeshadow palettes I've ever owned, and you'll never believe where it's from. It's called Barely There Eyeshadow Palette. As you can see, I've chewed through it and I have another one downstairs. But it is from Lacura, I think it's pronounced, which is stocked by Aldi, believe it or not. And by far one of the best eyeshadow palettes I've owned. So I'm using, it doesn't have the colours on the back, but I'm using a goldy kind of colour that I've obviously used too much of in my time, to go on the mobile lid, which is this one here. One that moves, that's why it's called mobile. I've currently got a cream colour over the entire lid, and then just a goldy kind of colour on the mobile lid there. I do use a brush for the crease. This is a brush that I purchased from Iredale. It's called the Crease Brush, surprisingly enough. I've had it for donkey's years, even the colour on the metal's starting to come off. But I've looked after it well enough to be able to have it for donkey's years, I guess. Once again, I'm using Iredale. She brings out, excuse me how dirty that looks, but she brings out these kind of colour sample kits once in a while. And this one was really impressive. As you'll see, I used pretty much everything in there. It had like the foundation, a blush, 2 types of lipstick, eyeshadows, etc. So I don't actually have the colour, but it's kind of a dark chocolatey brown. I'll just show you on camera. So it's that one there that I'm using, a dark chocolate brown colour. Excuse the state of my palettes. A trick is I like to close my eye, place the brush in there, and then just open up. It kind of follows that natural crease there. Next up are the brows. I'm using the Brow Artist Plumper. I find it's by L'Oreal. The colour is medium dark. I find this quite easy for day-to-day use. I don't mind using the whole Benefit Brow side, but this I just find the application is easy for day-to-day. And you kind of have full control over how much you want on there. So next up, I'm contouring my face. I have been using this product for a while now as well. It's called the Natural Glamour Loose Bronzer Powder in the winter colour. I buy this from Chemist Warehouse. It's about, I think, $35 a pop. I get the loose powder, so warning, it's great, but I have a tendency to spill it, so oops. Oh. Whoopsie. You know how I said that bronzer was really loose? It's all over my bed sheets now, and guess what? They're white. Whoops. So I just kind of open it up, and there's generally enough on my cap to get me going. Oops. I generally go for the figure 3, so 1, 2, and under the cheekbone. As I said, I'm going to brush through my eyebrows just with the clean eyebrow brush. Just if you feel you've gone overboard with the eyebrow mascara, this is a good way of just getting rid of that excess. Or you feel like one's darker than the other, you can kind of even them up by doing this. So next up, the famous eyeliner look. So I use the Bourjois liner Feutre, I believe it's pronounced, Ultra Black 24 Hour. This stuff does not move. It is excellent. I hope you can see that there. As I said, I'll be putting the products down in the description. So the reason why I love this, and I've been using it for so many years, is 1, it stays put. 2, super easy to use with that felt tip pen there. I don't know if you can see that. My go-to mascara on a daily basis is the Benefit They're Real mascara in black. Now I'll generally coat once, making sure I get those ends there. So that is my eye look. Next up we have lips. I like to put a bit of a lip balm on. I've just got a Vaseline tub here, just a little bit to give my lips moisture before I put on a matte lip gloss. and I'll just take off the excess and just rub the moisture in. And so today I'm using the Elk lipstick made in Chit 830. That is my look. I'm pretty darn happy with that as my first video. Would love your feedback. Subscribe down below, and I will be doing a hair tube up next. It'll be the natural beachy waves that I normally have, which you've probably seen on my Instagram quite a bit. I use hot rollers, etc. So that's coming up. Tune in.